Continuing our summary study of Bhagavad-gita with chapter 11, the universal form. Now, you remember back in chapter 10, at the end of chapter 10, of course, in chapter 10, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna all of his opulence, and he finishes up by saying, "What need is there, Arjuna, for all of these detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe." So that must have piqued Arjuna's curiosity. He must have become curious. How is it possible with a fragment of yourself? Because Arjuna then says, by hearing these instructions, my illusion is now dispelled. Now, remember, of course, way back in chapter 2, Arjuna came under the influence of illusion. He was telling Krishna he didn't want to fight because of his sympathy for all the relatives and friends on the other side. And Krishna says, Arjuna, how have all of these impurities come upon you? This is not befitting of a man of your character. But Arjuna, he wouldn't fight, which is Krishna's arrangement so that this wonderful Shastra, Bhagavad-gita, could be spoken for our benefit. So Arjuna gets into Maya. He surrenders to Krishna. And chapter 4, he says, now I'm confused about my duty and I've lost all composure because of weakness. Please tell me what is beneficial for me. And he accepts Krishna as his spiritual master. And the purpose, the whole idea of the spiritual master is to dispel the illusion of the disciple, to free the disciple from the illusion of ignorance. So now, finally, after 7 more chapters, Arjuna is saying, now my illusion is gone, and I have heard about you in detail, about your appearance, disappearance, the appearance and disappearance of every living entity, and I have realized your inexhaustible glories. I see you here before me in your actual position as you have described yourself, but I want to see, how is it that you have entered into this cosmic manifestation? You said you pervade and support the entire universe with just a fragment of yourself, so please show me that. So this is, you remember, in the spiritual world, which is absolute, the form, the personality are all the same. So Krishna's name, his appearance, his form, his personality, his pastimes, these are all absolute. And by seeing one, you can know the others. So Arjuna is seeing, he says here, I see you in your two-armed form before me, but I want to see that form of yours by which you pervade and support this universe. If you think that I can see that. And Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, seeing my opulence, hundreds and thousands of very divine and multicolored forms, you can see the different manifestations of the Adityas, the Vasus, Rudras, Asvin Kumars, and all the other demigods. Behold the wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. Now, this is interesting. This is before Krishna shows the form. And after we get into the part where Arjuna is seeing the form, he sees in the form the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, Asvin Kumars.
Well, can you repeat this?
Yeah. So in text number 6,
Okay.
Krishna is telling Arjuna, see here the different manifestations of the Adityas, the Vasus, Rudras, Asvin Kumars, and all the other demigods. So in that form, that universal form, it's the form of the universe. So all of the demigods are included in that. And Krishna is giving him a preview. In this form, you will see all of this. And later, when Arjuna is describing his experience of the universal form, he will repeat that. I see in this form the Adityas, the Kumaras, the Vasus, Rudras, and so on. Now, Krishna says, whatever you wish to see, you can see in this body. This universal form can show whatever you desire to see or may want to see in the future. So that's pretty interesting. Anything you may want to see in the future. So what that means is, usually in the future, there's something we don't know. And in the future, we experience that, which brings us more information. So here, Krishna is telling him, you're going to see everything you might want to see in the future. So in other words, you're going to know everything there is to know.
No question.
No question. Everything there is to know. So in the future, no more surprises, no more mystery. You're going to see it all right now. But you cannot see me with your present eyes, therefore I will give you divine eyes. There was one back in the 70s. There was one so-called incarnation. His name was Guru Maharaj Ji. Small Indian, just a young boy, really. His parents maybe put him up to this, but he was being accepted as God. And Prabhupada challenged him very frankly. You are not God. He criticized him strongly. And I remember in the one newspaper article, there was one newspaper article about that. It says, trouble in nirvana. That one guru is criticizing another guru.
Oh, article from...
In the newspaper describing this
Not
situation.
the devotee newspaper.
No, public newspaper. Yeah. And because he was saying, I have universal form, but you cannot see it. So he was making that statement, right? And when I heard that, I thought, well, we should go there and challenge him that, give us divine eyes so that we can see it. Otherwise, you're a bluffer. Krishna gave Arjuna divine eyes to be able to see.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
But he can say that you not deserve Arjuna is special guy.
Bluffing. Yeah. So much bluffing. So, I'll give you divine eyes. And Sanjaya, who is narrating the entire Bhagavad-gita to King Dhritarashtra, he says, O king, having spoken like this, the Supreme Lord of mystic power displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine raised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. If hundreds and thousands of suns were to rise up at once in the sky, the radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Lord in that universal form. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form unlimited expansions of the universe, situated all in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. This is just like Mother Yashoda. She was looking in Krishna's mouth to see if he was eating clay, and she saw the entire universe. You're like, what? I'm having a hallucination. So, Arjuna said, my dear Lord, I see assembled in your body all the demigods, the various other living entities, Brahma sitting on a lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva, all the sages and divine serpents, O Lord of the universe. O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see you in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. So everything. That would be amazing, huh? No end, no middle, and no beginning. Sometimes we look, I was taking my walk today, I was looking at the horizon. And we can only see so far. You know, we have limited perception. Even you go high in an airplane, you can only see so far. And everything becomes very mysterious. You don't understand what you're looking at. But here, Arjuna could see unlimitedly, which would be a very wonderful experience. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence spreading on all sides like blazing fire of immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are the inexhaustible, and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this universe by your own radiance. There was a beautiful painting in the original Bhagavad-gita of this statement, of this description of the universal form. Wonderful. And there was a poster of that painting, and I had that poster on my wall when I just was taking up Christian consciousness. It would be really nice to find it and get one printed again. It was so amazing to see. They've replaced it with other pictures which are not nearly as wonderful. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space in between. O great one, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are disturbed. All the hosts of the demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of sages and perfected beings crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas of Asus, the Sadyas, the Vishvadevas, the two Asvins, the Maruts, the forefathers, Gandharvas, the Yakshas and the Asuras, and all the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. Almighty armed, all the planets with all their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths and your great glowing eyes, my mind is disturbed with fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions I am bewildered. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma and Drona and Karna, and all of our chief soldiers also, are all rushing into your fearful mouths. And I see some trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. Gruesome. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all of these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction and fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lord of Lords, so fierce a form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord, and I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So here, in the several verses, Arjuna is saying how this universal form, everything is dying. Everyone is rushing into Krishna's mouths and meeting their end. And so now comes a very, very famous shloka, which was quoted by what's his name? Robert Oppenheimer, when they exploded the first atomic bomb. He was seeing the very great effulgence, and he had read Bhagavad-gita, and he was saying, quoting this verse, he says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Time I am, the destroyer of the worlds, and I have come to engage all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain." So, time I am. Time is the great destroyer. And of course, it's in Krishna's style, right? That Krishna's style is very subtle and imperceptible. Like when we see the sun come up in the morning. It's come so, the change is so gradual. You can't see it changing. It's just very, very gently coming up and also going down. So the same thing with time. We don't see things change one day to the next, but over the course of many, many days, everything is gone. So like, we look in the mirror every day and we look the same as we did the day before. But you take your pictures or your photo album out and you look at it and you can see, well, changing bodies. I had one time a collection of driver's licenses from a motor vehicle office. And I was looking at them and saying, oh, very interesting. So time. Krishna is irresistible in terms of time. Nothing can resist the time factor. Even great mountains, in time, they all become small hills. Therefore, get up and prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. And you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. Prabhupada would tell his disciples like that also, that this Lord Chaitanya's mercy is going to spread around the world. But how? Through the activities of his devotees. So who will do the work and get the credit? And so that remains to be seen, right? Who became Lord Chaitanya's Senapati Bhakta, right? Lord Chaitanya's great commander-in-chief to take Krishna consciousness all around the world. So in the Gaudiya Math, nobody expected Abhay Charan Babu. He's just a householder. We're the big sannyasis, right? So whoever's going to do the work, that's who will get the credit. So we should try. Even understanding we're like a dwarf trying to catch the moon, still we should try. And if we are sincere, Krishna will help. Like the sparrow in Garuda, right? The story, the ocean swallowed the eggs of the sparrow. And so the sparrow with great determination was going to empty the ocean of water with taking water out by her beak. So Garuda was impressed by this great determination of the sparrow, and he said, okay, I'll take up her cause because of her determination. So the ocean, being fearful that Garuda could actually carry out the task, then gave the eggs back to the sparrow. So like that, even we're a sparrow trying to empty the sea, if we have that determination, we can do something wonderful by Krishna's grace. I remember a story of, of course, in the early days, there was always contests to see who would distribute the most books. And many devotees were getting up to like 200, 300 books in a day. Big books, right? And something very amazing. So then I heard in Russia, about one devotee.
Mama!
Hare Krishna.
Kaj se događa? 100 put se prati to. Ako to čuješ, prati. Okay? Pa nemoj 100 puta, imamo predavanje.
So then in Russia, I heard about one devotee, he distributed 5,000 Bhagavad-gitas in one day. And I was amazed. How is it possible? Right? But if you don't try, you can't do it. So what did he do? He had the desire to distribute so many Bhagavad-gitas. He went to the head of some factory in Russia, and he convinced the factory manager that they should give Bhagavad-gita to every member, every employee in the factory for Christmas present. And the man agreed. So like that, 5,000 in one day, which is beyond belief. What? By determination and desire. So we should also have that desire to help spread Lord Chaitanya's mercy all around the world. And if we keep trying and endeavor, Krishna may bless us with some success. Not that success is our goal. Our goal is actually to please Krishna and to spread Lord Chaitanya's benediction to all the conditioned souls. That will be our reward in itself. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, time I am. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win, conquer your enemies, and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. Oh yeah. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them, and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attracted to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there, and all of this is rightly done. O great one, greater than even Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, O God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. You are the oldest, you are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes, a limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. So that verse reminds me that I took the information from that verse when I dedicated the thesis for my master's degree. I wanted to dedicate it to Krishna. How should I say that? And then reading this verse, I got the idea. So I dedicated it to Lord Sri Krishna, the knower of all and object of all knowledge. So here it says, you are all that is knowable. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. So I said, okay, Krishna, the knower of all and object of all knowledge. Okay. You are the air, and you are the supreme controller. You are fire. You are water. You are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances to you 1,000 times again and again. So Arjuna was understanding that Krishna is everything in this world, that there is nothing in this world that is disconnected from the Lord. Everything rests upon him, as he said earlier in Bhagavad-gita. Everything rests upon me, but you cannot see me, like pearls are resting on a thread. So this is, I'm sure, an amazing experience for Arjuna to see this again. And by reading this, we get some glimpse of the wonderful majesty of Krishna. There's no experience like that in the Bible or any other scripture that's describing the Supreme Lord in any such way like this. And so this is unparalleled in all of the spiritual literature. Thinking of you as my friend, I've rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I've dishonored you many times, joking as we relaxed, laying on the same bed, or sat and ate together, sometimes alone or sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for my offenses. You are the father of this. That's why Krishna doesn't show himself like that, because he doesn't, in his original form as Krishna, he wants the love of his devotees. And we see here that when Krishna's opulence is manifest, fear enters into the picture, and Arjuna is saying, I'm sorry, I made some mistakes before. Please forgive me, because I didn't know who you were. But so Krishna, he doesn't like to show himself like that. He just wants to be loved, just because he's wonderful, not because of some opulence or not because somebody's afraid of him. So that's the glory of Goloka Vrindavan. In Vaikuntha, the devotees are all very much aware of the opulence and power of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. But in Goloka Vrindavan, although Krishna seems to be very special and wonderful, no, he's not God. He's our lovable Krishna. He's mine. They're thinking like that. Krishna is mine. Nobody thinks like that about God. God is mine. That's a little presumptuous.
Yeah.
You are the Father of this complete cosmic manifestation of moving and non-moving. You are the worshipable chief. You are the spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down and offer my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impotence of his son, or a friend tolerates the impertinence of a friend, or a wife tolerates the familiarity of her partner, please tolerate the wrongs that I may have done to you. After seeing this universal form that I've never seen before, I'm happy, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and show me a form as the personality of Godhead. That means Krishna's forearm form. Vishnu. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your forearm form with helmeted head and club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. Please let me see you in that form. The Supreme Lord said, my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency the supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of opulence. No one before you has seen this form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifice, by charity or pious activities, or severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. You've been disturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Let it now be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With peaceful mind, you can now see the form that you desire. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having thus spoken to Arjuna, displayed his real forearm form and at last showed his two-arm form, encouraging the fearful Arjuna. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form so beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. Right? How we do that. Whew. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, this form of mine that you are seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form. And now again, Krishna is going to explain to Arjuna, as he has so many times throughout the Bhagavad-gita, that how we can come to know him. I counted them up today. Almost 50 times Krishna tells Arjuna about that he is 50 times Krishna tells Arjuna how to achieve him in the spiritual world. And finally, Krishna says to Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. My dear Arjuna, one who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to all living entities, certainly comes to me. So again and again and again, I made a search. I looked at all the verses in Bhagavad-gita and I took out those slokas in which Krishna is telling us how to achieve him. And I counted them up today. There's almost 50. So Prabhupada says in the Vedas, when they want to emphasize something, they say it 3 times, right? So how many times is Krishna telling us how to get to him? Right? There's 700 slokas in the Bhagavad-gita. Is it 700 or 900? 700. And so out of 50 of those, Krishna is telling us how to achieve him. So that's 1 out of 14. That's about 6% of the entire Bhagavad-gita is Krishna is telling us how to come to him. Very amazing. So the universal form, which is proof. Let's say in the last chapter, in chapter 10, Krishna was telling Arjuna, showing him very specifically, actually throughout the middle 6 chapters, Krishna is explaining, he's showing himself as being God. And particularly in chapter 10, the opulence of the absolute, how he can be seen and known and understood in this world. And now how he is, practically speaking, this entire material world. It's all Krishna. Of course, we have to be careful how we say that because it sounds like Mayavad. Everything's one. It's all God. We're God. Not like that. But by his energy and by his entering into this universal, this place, he puts on this great show, right? It's such a great show for us because we want illusion. Okay, Krishna's so kind, so he creates this amazing place. The material body, how does it work with a spiritual being inside? So many different bodies like that. So showing us that he loves us, he'll give us what we want, and he's simply waiting for us. We'll turn to him and say, oh yeah, Krishna, I like you too. I'm interested in you too. So hopefully by the end of Bhagavad-gita and by devotional service, by following Krishna's instructions as he's giving to us, we will, in this lifetime, get to know him. That's the goal. Do you have any questions about chapter 11?
Yes.
Okay.
What is in one in the chapter 11 is
Universal form.
yes, but in one chapter, in one
Sloka.
Is how is possible to understanding this knowledge. I read is love.
Is what?
Love. Yes. But
Okay.
and in my first question in the first class is what is a love? And here I have answer what is love.
Oh, tell us.
Yeah, I hope so. For example, when we have a hard situation in a life, usually we have some anger or fear or jealous or something of this emotion. But when we have a love in our heart for these people with who have this confrontation, that is the key for resolve this problem.
Okay.
Because when I don't have anger to the another person, when I have understanding is love, not some affection. Love
Yeah,
is
well,
some.
is that, I'm sorry, finish.
Love is not feeling. Love is a state of the body, of the mind.
Uh-huh.
Is a peace on the inside.
Okay.
And when we have this peace inside, we can maybe understand the this big picture of the.
Okay. Connect that to chapter 11 for me. I'm sorry, I don't see the connection. Do you?
I wait. Ja isto čekam neki stih si rekla. Ne?
Da, samo ga nisam
I wait for Sloka.
zabilježila.
Yeah.
Ja.
Ah,
Aha, nisi zabilježila.
Ma nisam.
Oh. Dobro. Može onda.
I don't-
Veliki.
Ja. I don't have a script, this sloka.
okay, that's right. Take your time, look for it.
Yes, yeah. I
It's
know.
probably at the end, huh?
Sorry?
At the end, after seeing all of this?
Near to the end is this.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Because all of this is description of
Uh-huh.
ovaj zadnji
Nije baš
A nije
u
zadnji?
zadnjem, ali pred
A,
krajem.
a.
Morat ću da ponovo pročitati.
The second to last, 1154. Only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
54.
54 is my guess.
Aha.
No, but
No?
no.
A je
Okay.
smisao Prabhupada ili baš stih?
Stih,
Aha.
stih.
Aha, onda je to jednostavnije. Mislio sam da je smisao, tu ima puno. Ako su samo stihovi, onda manje ovaj.
Nisam ga zabilježila.
Da, meni isto ovaj 54. vuče na ovo kaj si pričala.
Da, ali nije. Morat ću to ponoviti.
A možda 51? Vidim da spominje smireno. Arjuna. 51. Špekuliramo, pošto si spominjala smireno
Da, jer je to
i
sve
ljubav,
meni, da,
pa onda...
sve mi je se povezalo kroz ovo 11. poglavlje, onako.
Pa sigurno, da.
Baš je moćno. Da, evo i dio u 55. Tko se prijateljski ophodi prema svim živim bićama, sigurno dolazi k meni. Sve mi, samo ne mogu sad pronaći, je baš ta riječ ljubav, u kojem stihu je to, u kojem stihu to piše. I nema ni strogosti, ni nekakvih umnih špekulacija, nego je baš taj unutarnji raščišćeni prostor od umnih spekulacija, od naših osjećaja, taj mir. Yeah.
How are we doing?
I
Okay. Oh, so just say again. Just give me the idea.
When we have in our mind and in the body anger or jealous or something like that, we don't have a peace, and we don't have understanding the bigger picture, because we have our focus is on a problem.
Yeah.
When is inside of us state of love, that is not affection, that is a state for understanding, for see this big picture, and then we can try to understand the Krishna.
Okay. The first part of the example made it seem like there's some issue between two people, but now the second part you bring Krishna into it. So
yeah, Krishna is inside of us, but we don't see Krishna when I am angry, for example. I don't see Krishna in you. I see my anger.
Okay.
Nothing other.
Okay. And then
when we have a peace inside, and then we can see the Krishna everywhere.
okay. Several ways I can answer this. There are different kinds of love, okay, according to gunas. You can imagine, right? So, the selfish love, but I want something for me. This is love in Rajagun. I'm enjoying my partner. And when they don't give me enjoyment, I become angry. This is Rajagun, love in Rajagun.
But that is not pure love.
No, it's
conditional
not
love.
pure.
Yeah.
It's conditional.
Yes.
Sure. Love in Tamagun is something different altogether. Yeah, you could say, like, I love to exploit you, something like this, right? It's very unhealthy kind of relationship. Sometimes people, they get trapped in unhealthy relationship, even though it gives them a lot of pain, they cannot let go. This is love in Tamagun. Love in Sattvagun means more selfless, right? That it's based on that love is like mother with child. Okay, mother has great affection for the child. Does not mean that mother may not get angry at the child. Mother may get angry. You have experience, you know. So, but it's that anger does not upset the relationship. Okay. Then there's transcendental love. Okay, which is another thing altogether. That's the unmotivated, unconditional, ever expanding, eternal love that we all want, right? I will love you till the end of time. My love for you will grow forever and ever, right? We sing like that, but it's not possible with anybody except Krishna. That's transcendental love. So beyond the gunas, like that. Okay. Is that, no, I didn't hear a question of what you were saying. You were giving more or less a statement.
No,
Is there a question or no?
No, I don't have a question. That is my experience of this chapter. Is,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I see.
It's very important to me and.
Okay. Okay, that's all right. You know, we all have our own realizations about things based on our understanding, how we, you know, and so on. And so, no problem with that. You know, I may not understand your realization, but that doesn't negate it or not mean it's, you know, doesn't take anything away from that. It's your realization. Very good. Okay. All right. Was there any question then? No? Okay. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad-gita ki jai. Sri Krishna's universal form ki